Well, hello there. It's me, River Lee, founder of the Savvy Groomer. Welcome to this week's episode of Grow Wealthy Grooming. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please like and subscribe. As you guys can imagine, this is going to be a really interesting topic today. It's funny because I hear a lot of people say it's not a thing, and I want to talk about the three main causes of groomer burnout. So if this is your first time here, like I said, welcome. We teach you all about profits and, while enjoying your passion for pet professionals. It's a lot of fun onomatopoeia, huh? So today's topic is going to be all about groomer burnout is real. Now, it was so fascinating. I was in a Facebook group, and you guys know how much I love those free Facebook groups. I actually have a love-hate with them. I really do, because I love that we have this amazing community of women that are able to communicate and get to know each other and connect. But what I hate is a lot of really terrible advice. So let's go ahead and get today rocking and rolling. So, let me give you a little bit of backstory for grooming burnout. I knew when I was running my dog grooming salon, I was becoming burnt out. I was working 60, 80 hours a week. I had 5 employees, and I had finally making the kind of money I needed. But I needed a lot of guidance. I was physically feeling awful. My body hurt, which was terrifying because at the time, guys, I was in my mid-20s. I got to the shop around 7 a.m., and sometimes I didn't get home till 9 p.m. If I was lucky, I could send one of my employees for a lunch run, but it was more likely to be a coffee run than anything. I was running on sugar, caffeine, and I could just feel my body aching. I would spend my days trying to catch up on much needed sleep. So on my days off, guys, all I did was sleep. And they were days off because I always had things to do for the shop. There were things that I had to do for my son, doctor's appointments. It wasn't like I got to just sit and relax. And if I did, I was sleeping, which is not the best thing to do. It's not a good long-term plan. When I dragged my lazy butt out of bed, I ended up laying on the couch waiting for my lower back to stop throbbing. And I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to that. I felt exhausted all the time. I had worked so hard to build this life for my son, and we could do better. And I wasn't happy. I felt like something had to give. I wish someone had talked to me about that groomer burnout was real. I thought I hated my business, but there were 3 key reasons I was so burnt out. Maybe you're also facing a similar burnout situation. So there are 3 main reasons that you are burnt out. Physical, which is my body hurts, please kill me. Financial, you're feeling too broke. You're like, why am I so broke when I work really hard? Or you feel trapped. You're just this rat in the wheel and you want your time and flexibility back. So let's talk about some ways to take some load off of your body. Consider stop accepting once a year or twice a year pets. They require more work. They tend to be more dangerous. And reality is you never make enough money to deal with them. Grooming pets on a regular 4 or 6 weeks regular schedule means better customer, easier haircuts, and less physical work. When you're brushing out a dog that it just needs that undercoat done, your body hurts. Or detangling a long-coated dog, it's killing your body. Consider limiting size or breeds or find a niche. It was a game changer personally for me. My shoulders were so messed up, I could not lift my hand above my head. And that's in my mid-20s, guys. I had to let go of my labor-intensive doodles, my Old English sheepdogs, Huskies, Great Pyrenees, etc. When I felt better and my body relaxed, I let go of dogs over 30 pounds. Wanting to make more money and do less work, I changed my business to cats only, which meant no scissor works, and most of my clients were between 7 and 17 pounds. So Stop abusing your body. Take care of yourself and remember you are only human. Excuse you. Speaking of, one thing you can do, and I know this is like a duh moment, but eat food that isn't crap, guys. When I had my shop, I had an average of $1,200 a month in takeout, which was fast food, coffee, and energy drinks. I was never home to even make a sandwich, and all of that poor quality food did a lot of damage to my body. You don't need to become a health nut, but make one small change each month. Consider hiring a personal trainer or work out regularly. So I'm not a workout freak. I really actually hate working out. I'd rather set myself on fire than go to the gym. But when I was in full burnout mode, I hired a personal trainer and I went to the gym 3 days a week for 2 years straight. I needed the accountability to help build muscle to help me do my job and recognize that I had created actually the wrong muscle masses to compensate for the way I was abusing myself physically. Now, guys, I'm really short. I'm so short that I lie about my height. So I'm about 5'1.5". You'll hear me say I'm 5'2". I'm not tall. Being 5'1.5", 5'2" is not tall. And lifting 100-pound doodles by myself is so dumb. But on a busy Saturday, I had to do what I had to do, right? And eventually I had to physically pay for it. Another thing you can do to physically take care of yourself is to get a massage, so you can demat all the knots in your back. Well, I thought saying dematting the knots was clever anyway. So if your back, neck, and shoulders were a pet, it would get a 10 strip. You have ignored these pains or you just pop a pill. You need to stop. Go to a professional and have them dematted. It may take a massage therapist who specializes in sports or functional massage, 1 massage a week for 6 months. No different than our ones to your clients. You should have to take care of yourself. You should be coming in monthly. You chose not to, and there is no 10 strip for your muscles. Unfortunately for us, we tell our clients all the time, you must maintain your hair, right? Yet here we are not maintaining our bodies. So let's move on to the next topic, which is financial, right? So it was really interesting, like I said, back at my shop, and I don't know how much you guys know about my previous story, and I almost feel like weird telling people this, but, like I said, I was working 60, 80 hours a week. I had 5 employees. I opened up my shop 4 days before my son was born. I lived in that shop with my newborn baby, which is, by the way, is completely illegal. Don't do that. Until he was about 6 months old. And then we went from being so broke, I used to eat ketchup sandwiches, to having a large paycheck in less than 5 years. Made my finances completely out of whack. Excuse me, don't do that. Pardon me. Excuse you. Naughty cat. Sorry about that, guys. So at this point, I was making great money, but I spent so much money on crap that I didn't need or really even want. I would spend my money on things that would make my life easier. So I averaged $1,200 a month, like I said, on quick, easy, fast food because I was too tired to cook. I felt like I deserved a home-cooked meal after sacrificing for so long. I paid for a laundry service, even though I could have simply had an employee use my washer dryer, but I was just too crispy fried to argue with them to fold correctly. I didn't get to spend a ton of time with my son on my days off because either I was catching up on things or I was tired, I was sleeping. It sucked, But so what I would do is I would take him out places and spend several $100s because I felt guilty. We would go and, we'd go to the zoo and I felt bad. So then we would get the toy and get the ice cream and get the food and just really enjoy it. There was a really great quote that Christy Wright, who wrote the book Business Boutique, and she wrote, if you made $1 million a year doing what you're doing, would you keep doing it? And so a lot of times when I have somebody on a virtual coffee and getting ready for a coaching call, I'll ask them, hey guys, if you could make $1 million doing what you're doing, would you keep doing it? And there's some people who are so burnt out, they're like, no, I wouldn't. And that's when you know it's time to move on. And for me, if I won the lottery, I would keep doing what I'm doing. Alternatively, if you won the lottery, would you become a hobby groomer? Oh, sorry. Would you spend your day grooming? Would you start dog showing? Would you start grooming rescue dogs for free? So is your burnout related to your financial situation? So here are some ways to get your finances under control. Get on a written monthly budget. A budget is a leash for your money. Without a budget, your money is just going to run around and piss all over your life, guys. If you're sort of doing a written budget, then you're the jerk customer whose dog is on a flexi lead. The dog is still pissing all over my shop, right? Consider what really matters. Do an inventory on what is important to you and what are deserves. This was a hard one for me to come to terms with. I deserve to be able to sit and watch 5 hours of TV on my DVR on my day off. My son deserved to go to Disney for missing all the time away from me. I deserved a fancy, fully loaded, outrageously expensive SUV because I worked so hard. The reality was I was trying to buy things that made me happy, and in the end, it didn't make my job or my life any easier. In Personal Finance Leash, which is our 12-week online course teaching groomers all about personal finance, we call that person Samantha Spender. They spend money trying to enjoy life. They're like, I deserve this, but you don't actually get to enjoy it, right? It's kind of like if you guys have any children or have been around children and they want a toy and they get the toy, they don't really appreciate it and they don't really want it in the end. They're just going to leave it or toss it somewhere. Another thing to consider is impulse shopping is a real thing. Whether that's Target, Amazon One-Click, the trade show credit card. I cannot tell you how many of you guys will max out credit cards at trade shows. Be so careful. If it's not in your written budget for the month, it has to wait until next month. Let it sit in your head for just a month. I can almost promise you that you won't be such an important purchase after a week or two, unless I'm guilty as charged. I love to buy the wipe your paws, the front doormat at Target. I ordered a kitty shaped backpack on Amazon. When I go to trade shows, so I have a limited amount. So I don't accidentally spend several $1,000s on things I never knew I needed. Listen, every time I'm at a trade show, that TheraClean machine calls my name. Do I need it? No. Is it on brand for me? No. Do I want it? Yes. So here's some extra ways to make money. Take a hard look at your pricing. Are you charging everything you should for the once a year St. Bernard? How about that super matted doodle? Why are you not charging a Band-Aid fee for that saber-tooth Scotty? Right? If you're booked out 2 weeks or more, maybe it's time to increase your prices minimally by $5 or $10. We are currently doing a price increase class. It's a 6 weeks amazing price increase masterclass, and we will be doing this over again in August. So if you're interested in that, you guys can always post down below. If you're watching this via Facebook, Quincy or Jasmine will be more than happy to help you get set up. You can also consider selling relevant add-ons. Getting old. So there's a real big reason why I said relevant add-ons. Don't be the piece of crap used car salesman. Sell add-ons that you want or fits your business model. Is that German Shepherd molting? Well, offer a D-shed. I'm sure for $30 more, your client would rather pay that than go a month without vacuuming 10 times a day. You can offer nail color to someone who likes to be all dolled up, wants their pooch to match them, or be a topic of conversation. The possibilities are endless. I'm always shocked. I'm in right now, the cat industry basically, but I mean, it's so much fun. Like my cat and I generally have nails that match. It's really fun. I was never a nail color person. I don't know what changed. It's honestly because my nails split and break. So I have the dip on and I'm like, well, I've got to get it updated every 2 weeks anyway. Might as well get a fun color. And so when I have red caps, he has red caps. Or sometimes I have blue sparkly nails for him. It's fun. And it's a really easy way to make some extra money. And the same thing with dogs. Dog nail caps, if you have somebody who is diabetic, someone who is older and they have a little lap dog, it's a very easy sell. For my business owners, make sure you own a business and not just a job. Too many groomers work 60, 80 hours a week. They make as much as they would have working 40 hours a week, a job at another salon. Make sure the money you're making is more than your local area's groomer salary. If it's the same or less, consider why that is. You pay all your own taxes, have to take on all that risk, and make sure you own a business, not a job. Now, if you're an employee, make sure you're making quality money and you're in a stable position. When you take your average week and multiply it by 50 weeks, assuming 2 weeks off or vacation or sick time, is that how much you made last year? Are there normal low times? Times you work like a crazy person? I started taking off a week between Christmas and New Year's, and then to let my body recover and my mental state recover. And then obviously after Thanksgiving, instead of working in the slow times, I planned those vacations during those times so I don't lose money during the busy times. All right, and let's talk about our last consideration, which is feeling trapped. One second. So I'm going to try very hard to get this video to play. And I'm hoping you guys will be able to hear it clearly. No promises, but I'm going to try very hard. So the basic story is that when I'm in my shop, again, working 68, 80 hours a week, my son was like 4 or 5 at that point, I think. So I decided to take my first Christmas Eve off. I wanted to not work Christmas Eve. I didn't want to work Christmas Day. So we closed Christmas Eve day. And we did that mainly because every year people would not pick up their dogs till late. So they dropped the dog off in the morning and then they would pick them up at the end of the day. It was horrible. And there's really not much I could do about it. Because what are you going to do? Leave the dog there? So I decided Christmas Eve, I want to spend with my son. I didn't want to have to worry about someone leaving their dog. So that's what I did. I decided I was going to close. Well, this lady screwed up her appointment. And I'm going to try really hard to see if I can play this. So let me see what I can do. Give me 1 second. I'm going to try and bump that out. I think I got it. Not that you need to see the whole thing. All right, here we go.
Good morning. This is Valerie Shelby Resendi's mom. First of all, I want to thank you very much for soliciting telephone calls to me to have my dog groomed, of which one was the week of Thanksgiving, and we sat down that week. At the same time, we sat down today. However, you're on vacation. I want to thank you very much for not being there to service my pet. Not only did you not be there, you wasted my time, you my family or friends frequenting your place. So I want to thank you, and I hope you have a miserable Christmas and a miserable, shitty New Year, should you care to keep your place open for business. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a wonderful freaking day. End of message to
So now it's funny because at this point in my career, I laugh. Not laugh at her. I just laugh at the level of entitlement for this woman. She missed her appointment. Her appointment was the day before Christmas Eve, and she never showed up for it. The other thing that she did was that she had, it was just crazy. We had called her, we had messaged her, we had said your dog was gone, and we had made her an appointment. And it was just crazy. I just remember, now mind you, I was in a totally different emotional place when this came about. And so now I can look at this and roll my eyes and say, wow, what a miserable human being. But at the time, I was working 60, 80 hours a week. I was so exhausted. And everything I did everything the industry told me to do to get ahead. And I was still failing. Like, I had money, but not enough to not work so many hours. I had employees and they were entitled assholes. Like, I loved them, but they were so entitled, it was miserable. I just felt exhausted all the time. I had worked so hard to build this life for my son and I just wasn't happy. You know, I just needed to reevaluate my life and my business, and that was one of the biggest catalysts. I just wanted to spend Christmas Eve with my son. I had literally never gotten, since my son was born. My son was born in April. Wonderful. So it looks like we got reconnected. It's very ridiculous. Sorry about that. But anyway, so I wanted to reevaluate my life and my business. So one thing to consider if you're feeling burnout is your business style and current employment the right one for you? And I'm always shocked at how often we don't talk about this. Do you want to be mobile? Do you want to be in-home, house call, salon with employees? Are your coworkers super catty assholes, guys? Do you do a lot of big dogs? What is your ideal client and ideal situation? And are you there now? Can you work towards or change your current client situation? When was the last time you had a holiday or weekend off, guys? Do you get frustrated when your days off, or how many days off do you have? I found that I did best when I worked Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Those are my best days. I'd rather have 4 long days than 5 shorter days. I made Wednesday my paperwork office day, and that left the weekend to actually have some time off. You know, I never was able to get out of work early anyway, so what was a few more hours on the 4 work days? Now, it was amazing for me, and again, I will say I'm completely privileged, and a lot of that privilege comes from working really hard and figuring a lot of these things out the hard way, and now being able to share them with you. One of the most important things I figured out for me was that I just wanted extra time off. I needed a day to catch up on paperwork and do that stuff. Because I wanted to be fresh from when my son got out of school. I wanted to be able to pick him up and spend time with him and be present. And it's still hard for me sometimes to be present because I'm built like that. I'm built like this workaholic. So it's important for me to really embrace those things. But by allowing myself and giving myself the grace of that, it's really changed my life. And the last thing I want to point out is the business model you have if you're a business owner, the right one for you. Is your passion dwindling because you want weekends off, holidays off, nights off? Or is that you need to plan an exit strategy out of the grooming industry or have what you have currently evolving? Nobody talks about the fact that, how do I say this? It's your business, it's your choice. You can do whatever you want. I had this amazing spotlight question yesterday in my price increase class. And I get so mad because the industry often just tells us the wrong things. The industry gives us awful advice. It's always groom more dogs and pay your employees 50% commission and all these things that just don't work. They don't work. And then where's that money going to come from? They say, oh, add retail. Oh, do this. And sometimes it just doesn't work. Or you build a business that's so big and so complicated, it's not fun anymore. A lot of us just want simple businesses. And coming down to the fundamentals and deciding what that is, I think is so important. So just consider what that could be. What is that for you? So if you're feeling burnt out, is that you need to make more money. If I paid you $1 million, would you consider going back to work? Or groom for free? Are you physically in pain? Are you taking care of yourself? Remember, it's super corny, but it's important. Do you put the oxygen mask on? When you're in the airplane and it's going down, you always put the oxygen mask on you first. And last of all, do you feel trapped? Do you feel like you're a rat on a wheel and you're not going anywhere, that what you're doing isn't working? If what you're doing isn't working, I highly suggest you hop on a virtual coffee with me. They're only $25 as long as you show up. If you don't show up, they're a lot more money. But hop on a virtual coffee and let's talk. I offer one-on-one coaching. We're going to be offering group mentoring very shortly. I'm really excited to offer you guys these things. Really, really looking forward to seeing how this price increase changes the industry. And I know it sounds almost egotistical, but I really believe in what I do. I honestly believe in what I do, and I feel really, really good about everything I'm suggesting to you. So if you're like, wow, River, how do I learn more? I want you to come into my free Facebook group, Savvy Pet Professionals, where we teach personal finance, business, and lifestyle. Come in there. We generally stream the live stream every week in there. You get to enjoy it, hop in, and if that's not really your jam, that's okay as well. We offer, our 6-week price increase masterclass that'll be coming in August. And we have lots of things going on. I hate to even say anything specifically. I feel like we have so many things going on right now, and Savvy Groomer is growing exponentially. I will be at Atlanta Pet Fair. I would love to see you guys. That would be so much fun. We're going to have a good time, guys. So please keep an eye on Savvy Groomer. We are growing. We are expanding. We're going to change an industry. That's my goal. I want you guys to be your best selves. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. This was Groomer Burnout is Real. I think it's so important to be talking about this, guys. A lot of you guys are working long hours and you have nothing to show for it. And that's not your fault. I'm so sorry the industry has given you bad advice. And I hope all I can do really support you guys here and do the very best that I can. So I will see you guys next week here. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers. So if you have friends, please ask them to subscribe. Please, we're almost there. Once we have 1,000 subscribers, we will be having 2 lives a week. You heard that right. Once we can monetize the YouTube channel, we will have 2 lives a week. And I cannot wait to do that. All right, guys. I will talk to you later. And as always, happy grooming.